My name is Aisha Mahmood, and I never thought I'd be telling this story. What I'm about to share will challenge everything you believe about death and the afterlife. At 39, I lived what I considered a blessed life in Aspen, Colorado. I was a devout Muslim who prayed 5 times a day. I owned a small but successful Moroccan restaurant and raised 3 beautiful children with my husband Yusuf. My faith was everything to me. Skiing was my escape. Every weekend I'd head to the mountains, finding peace in those magnificent slopes. 12 years of experience had made me confident, perhaps too confident. That fateful morning of February 23rd started like any other. I woke up for Fajr prayer, prepared breakfast, and packed my ski gear. I remember checking my hijab was secure under my helmet, something I'd perfected over years of skiing. The weather forecast promised clear skies and mild temperatures, perfect conditions for what I planned to be a solo ski run on a familiar route. The path I chose that day was one I'd skied dozens of times before. But something felt different. Maybe it was the unusual stillness in the air. 3 hours into my skiing, I skied over what appeared to be solid snow, but this time the snow gave way beneath my skis. In that split second, time seemed to slow down. The next few moments came in flashes, the rush of air, an odd sense of peace, then sharp pain as my body struck a rock. A group of skiers found me. The rescue team took 2 hours to reach me. In the helicopter, my heart stopped 3 times. What they didn't know was that during those moments when my heart wasn't beating, I experienced something that would forever change everything I believed. I found myself in a dark, swirling vortex. Time lost all meaning as I tumbled through absolute darkness, feeling an overwhelming sense of my own sinfulness. The darkness gave way to a dim, reddish light. I stood on a vast plain that stretched endlessly. The ground was black and cracked, and heat radiated through my feet. In the distance, I saw a figure approaching. My heart leaped with joy. Surely this would be the Prophet Muhammad coming to guide me to paradise. But something was wrong. His eyes were empty, dead things like black holes. When he spoke, his voice was harsh and grating.
"Welcome, faithful one," he said, but his words dripped with mockery. "I am who you believed me to be, the one who led millions astray."
The ground began to crack beneath us, revealing glimpses of fire below. All around, I could hear screams, millions of screams. I saw other figures approaching, millions of them wearing hijabs and robes, their faces masks of agony as they wandered the burning plain. Before I could respond, the ground dissolved. I fell through layers of increasing heat, each level revealing new horrors beyond description.
We reached what felt like the bottom. The ground was transparent like glass over an infinite sea of fire. "Your final destination," the demon said.
Just then, a new light appeared, different from the red glow of hellfire. This light was pure white and healing. A figure stepped out of the light, and I knew immediately who it was. Not because he looked like paintings I'd seen, but because every fiber of my being recognized its creator. Jesus Christ stood before me. His presence was overwhelming. Power, love, and holiness radiated from him. This was not just a prophet, but God incarnate. "My child," he said, and his voice contained all the love and mercy I'd falsely attributed to Allah. "You have seen the truth. What will you do with it?" "Lord," I whispered, using the English word rather than Arabic for the first time in my life. "I was wrong, so terribly wrong." "Yes," he said simply, "but it's not too late for you, Aisha." He knelt beside me. The creator of the universe knelt beside me and touched my shoulder. At his touch, the burning heat of hell receded. "That is precisely why you must go back," he said. "Your testimony will be powerful exactly because you were so wrong. Your body is not yet dead. Your family is praying for you right now, though they pray to a God who cannot hear them. You can return and tell them what you've seen." Around us, the screams of the damned grew louder. I saw faces I recognized, members of my mosque, religious teachers who had taught me since childhood. "Remember that you saw hell first," he said, so you could understand the urgency. "Every soul that believes the lie comes here, every single one. When you return, you will face opposition. Are you willing to bear this for the sake of truth?" "Yes, Lord," I replied without hesitation. He smiled and touched my forehead. The transition back to my body was excruciating. The first thing I became aware of was the steady beeping of hospital machines. I could see Yusuf sitting by my bed, reciting verses from the Quran. Each Islamic phrase now felt like a small knife in my heart, knowing where those prayers were really going. All I could do was lie there and listen as they earnestly prayed to a God who didn't exist, while the true God had just given me a second chance. Every time someone said Alhamdulillah, praise be to Allah, about my survival, I felt deep sadness. If they only knew the truth about who had really saved me. What I discovered in those moments between life and death changed everything. I had been following a beautiful deception while rejecting the truth that was right in front of me. Jesus told me I would face opposition, that many would call me crazy, that my family might reject me. But I had seen the truth, and I could never go back to the lie. I'm sharing this story not to hurt anyone, but because I love my family and my community too much to stay silent. The truth I encountered was far more shocking than anything I could have imagined. Every soul that believes the lie ends up in that place of torment. But there is hope. Jesus Christ is real, and he is the only way to salvation.